Hi everybody, it is the first day of spring coming up pretty darn soon. Today is the 18th of March and the sun is out at the moment and it's giving me all kind of energy and happy feeling today.
Isn't that wonderful?
And so Kevin said, let's make a video. So I said, why not? Okay, your turn, Kevin.
There you go. Great introduction. Hi everybody, how you all doing? It's been a while since we've made a video, and I know some people have been wondering what the heck's been happening to us and all. Did we fall off the face of the earth or whatnot? We haven't. We've both been very, very busy. Not with the usual things that people would think about us being, you know, the homesteaders, the farmers doing all the gardening, the nursery stuff, working on roads, all of those sorts of things. The weather's been, it's been winter here in central New York, and we've had far less snow than we usually have each year, but it's been bitterly cold, warm periods where everything melts, lots of rain, not as much snow as usual. So it's muddy and it's messy and it's cold and it's windy and there's tons of things to do around here. Outside, but we've been preoccupied with the reselling business that we've started. So, do you want to say anything about reselling to start out with, hon?
I was very leery about it in the beginning, but it's becoming fun. So, thumbs up Kevin's idea. Because in the winter, I mean, yes, it's messy, and yes, we have things to do outside, but we can't really do anything, and the barn is too frigid, you know, to actually work in. So this keeps us busy and helps the farm, and Kevin will tell you all about it.
So when I say reselling, what I'm talking about is reselling. Right now it's reselling media. That's books, CDs, and DVDs. I mentioned in a previous video, it all started off with us trying to reduce the number of things that we have, trying to not become minimalist, because it's hard to imagine us being minimalist on our property with all the heavy equipment and everything that we have, but trying to decide those things that we no longer need. And so in our professions, tons and tons of veterinary books, and with my teaching aspects, I have everything from slides, and I'm talking about not just video slides, but also in Kodachrome slides, but glass slides that you look under a microscope, stethoscopes. Then we have lots of computer equipment, and previously lots of our reef tanks, saltwater fish tanks, equipment for that, some exercise stuff, and just. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app. I'm not sure why that keeps going off. But it started off with us just trying to consolidate and get rid of lots of things. And we started this actually last year, putting ads on Craigslist and Facebook and getting rid of scuba gear, canoes, things like that, that we just don't spend any time using anymore. And then this spring, with the economy being down and the things that are going on currently, my thoughts were, let's go ahead and start selling some of our stuff. So we're selling stuff on eBay, we still do some on Craigslist, some on Facebook, but eBay and Amazon. So we've been doing that, and you may be able to see a whole bunch of bins behind us that are books and CDs and DVDs, those sorts of things that we've got listed on either eBay or Amazon. And then we fill up big boxes full of books and supplies and send them off to Amazon to their fulfillment center. And that's a big thing as well. It really does eat up a lot of our time. And one of the things we discovered was, well, it's probably best, since we had to invest in some equipment. So some of the equipment we invested in were thermal printers, scanners, so that you can scan the UPC code, or and be able to more easily list the products and get comparable pricing for the products that we're selling and all. And then we decided we'd actually go to some thrift stores and pick up some books, DVDs, those sorts of things. So I've been in Thea's Tesla more in the last 3 months than I've been in my truck on the equipment, everything, for years. So been doing lots of traveling around, picking up used books and all that have a potential for reselling. And Amazon and eBay, they take their cut. The smaller the item, the less the price, the bigger their cuts are, and the smaller our cut is. But that allows us to accomplish a few things. One, it gives me some confidence and some experience in shipping, selling and shipping. I don't like either of those things. I'd rather be growing things out in the field and let someone else handle all of the sales and that sort of thing. And you may be able to hear a bird in the background. That's Birdie. She's talking. I'm not sure how well that'll show up in the audio.
She's 37 years old, and about 32 years ago, someone said, "Will you please adopt her?" And we said yes.
Yes.
And she's lived longer than anybody else.
Yeah. So I think that's about it with our reselling business. It's another avenue, and hopefully this will spur us on to being able to list some of the trees and bushes and all. If not this coming spring, then sometime in the future. Now, one of the things we've also been discussing is how much time we have in our lives. So do you want to make some statements now?
You mean like it just goes faster and faster, and where'd that day go?
Well, we used to, the tremendous number of hours that I used to work, because I used to work, be the only internist, criticalist at a veterinary hospital. And so I'd be there all day, very long days, and then being called in at nighttime, on weekends, never really took vacations. But I still got the opportunity somehow to build and create the things that you see around here, converting it from a woodsy gravel yard area into what you've seen in videos. And nowadays, we've slowed down it quite a bit, and just doing the chores and doing the...
Yeah, I mean, we go to bed earlier than we ever used to. We still get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But it's, as you get older, you slow down, a little bit, and your endurance, is not as much. Of course, I still make my list as long as for a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But we get the stuff done. We do a lot,
Well, considering what our people are in our cohort, our age group, we still do quite a bit more than that's surprising to them. Let's put it that way. It's less than what we're used to, which is more comfortable. We get to sit down and relax at times. But even I find when I'm sitting down, like since we got up this morning, and it's not quite, it's 11 o'clock right now, I've been right at the computer listing and all that sort of thing. So there's lots of paperwork involved in what we're doing, lots of computer
more than
work.
I thought, But it's a learning type thing, and it's business related, and we were medical related, not business related. So it's kind of a teaching, opportunity for us, to learn that.
Yeah.
And I think that will help out with the nursery. I'm more enthusiastic currently about the nursery and getting hard cuttings, soft cuttings, and putting them in the ground and growing them and selling, them. And now that we're selling some things, it's not like a whole foreign environment.
Yeah. And recently you went out and did a census on the freezer situation and all this. And
oh my God, we still have tons of food frozen. So I kind of talked to Kevin and said, we really don't need a garden this year. But so we can have fresh tomatoes, we can have 2 tomato plants, and so we can have fresh kale for our wraps every day. We can have 2 kale plants. I have like 40 bags of frozen kale alone in the freezers, for cooking.
Big
and
gallon frozen bags.
Yeah, all that. So I did an inventory and said, we really don't need anything.
So we've got 6 21 cubic foot upright freezers that are still very full, a couple of refrigerator freezers, and then we have the whole root cellar. And so it's one of those things that we've grown, we've been, even with doing the single row beds that we've done with our weed mats and drip irrigation systems, we produce way more than what we can consume or deal with, and it's fine for composting. All winter long, Hank's been out there digging up all the daikon radishes in the central garden and all.
Yeah.
And the deer are in there all the time eating a lot of the cover crops, so that's been good. But we're rethinking how much we should be planting of the food that we would consume, because years ago I tried the whole propagating in the springtime thousands of tomatoes and broccoli and cauliflower and every sort, kale, all of the various tomatoes and pepper plants and all that. But no one came to pick them up, so I gradually reduced doing that and just stuck to propagating berry plants, tree plants, those sorts of things, berry bushes and various fruit trees and nut trees, those sorts of things.
So I think like the rows that we had that we were growing food for ourselves, that's not needed, but it could certainly be used for the nursery and growing plants for other people, like perennials, bushes, and things like that, and trees. So I think that would be great. It'd be less work for us. It takes a lot of work for me to do the gardens and weed the gardens and prep all the stuff. So I think this will be easier, and then we can use our time and energy to modify the barn workshop. Maybe work on the greenhouse. The herb garden bed is partially done. Things that we wanted to do, but we just were tied to the garden.
Yeah. So and I think that this spring and summer, and probably into the fall, maybe even to the next winter, this reselling aspect of our business life is going to continue for this year. And a lot of it has to do with the economy, the uncertainty of the economy. This will bring in money every couple of weeks to help pay bills and all. There's, as opposed to taking money out of our retirement portfolios when the market is down, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to do that if we can bring in additional money to do the things. And because of the economy being down, and the relative value, not the absolute value, but the relative value of our shares, like in Tesla, the prices come down quite a bit, and therefore selling it at this point, those shares, to pay our regular bills doesn't make a lot of sense, or to do the improvements that we want to do, like our road work around here. It's all turned to mud over the years. It was all nice gravel that we put in years ago. But because of all the wood chips and all the gardening we've done, little bits have fallen on top of the gravel, and it's like a lush lawn. Our driveways are. So those have all got to be resurfaced, bring in limestone and all. And so that's going to be put off for not this coming year unless the whole economy turns around, but I don't have confidence in that. I anticipate this 2023 is being challenging economically. Now we've got the bank, defaults at this point. I think that it's going to go on a bit longer. Who knows what's going to be going on with Ukraine at this point. And there's just so many other potential challenges that are macroeconomic and fiscal economy components are dealing with, and therefore I'm trying to foresee how to navigate this with being as efficient and as effective as possible, and we're trying to navigate our time and energy so that we enjoy our second half of our lives.
Right. Cost 70 times 2. So all in all, I'm happy about, you know, this year coming up and getting whatever we get done, and simplify, you know, things.
Yep.
You know, I find I don't need all new clothes, and I don't need all these, you know, type of things. I'm, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, we never were
content.
big clothes
Yeah.
people and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need that much, even though we have a bountiful resources around here. We're so blessed that we built this home when we did. It's passive solar. It's very energy efficient. Doesn't really cost us anything to live here. Of course, taxes are quite high, but you know, we have all the solar panels to provide us with the electricity. So we're really blessed
Yeah.
that we've invested in the resources that we've got here in our property.
And we didn't know back then that they would help us so much in the future, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Those were investments that have really paid off big time over the years.
yeah.
And I do plan on making more videos, although there will be the gardening videos and the propagation videos and working in the food forest.
And the beaver pond.
Yeah, and so
Hopefully the road is still there that you built last year.
I haven't been down and back in a couple of months now, which is unlike me. I'm usually down there at least once a week. Well, that goes. I think that ends our video. Huh?
Okay.
Well, just in case the cameras.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of wind it up there, just because we
wind
don't.
it down.
Oh, down. That's right. Oh, down. Get back, forth. Okay.
So there will be some videos to come in the future about the working in the forest. There's lots of trees that are down and challenges that we got down there and all. So those are things we'll be working on and sharing videos as well.
And Kevin's going to show me how to use the grapple thing, the tractor, because we have to cut wood for next year and all that kind of stuff. So there'll be adventurous YouTube videos in the future.
So we appreciate you all watching and all, and thank you so much for checking in with us and liking our videos. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and have a super fantastic and safe day. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Enjoy, everyone. Bye-bye.